Champions. And and again, like another invincible season as well for the under 15s, just like Arsenal. So hey, let's kind of literally. Sorry,
I bring them into it.
Well, listen, I mean, hey, like I'm not an Arsenal fan, but you've like got to give props. Going unbeaten, in the Premiership era is something special.
It's lovely, but you only get one trophy for it.
No, that's true. It's true. Hey, guys, welcome to the Amateur Footballer Unhinged podcast. Independence Day. So, you know what? We'll be like talking about the England and the Euro stuff later on. Today is Independence Day. So, at the top, we have Jamal from the London FA. Next to Jamal, we have Nana. Next to Nana, we have Coach Barry. Next to Coach Barry, we have Paul Barrett, aka Black Klopp. Next to Black Klopp, we have Coach Frankie. And next to Coach Frankie, we have Ray, manager of the Vets team. Actually, independent. This is an independent family. This is an independent family show. So welcome everyone.
Thank you.
Wow. What a weekend. Yes.
Champion.
Oh dear. And and thank you for all of the people that are coming in. Jamo from Caldecott. Good evening, guys. Thank you so much. And again, please put your questions and comments to the panelists, and we will try our damn hardest to answer. So you know what? Let's go straight into it. The under 15s independent season. Unbeaten. Come on, guys.
Champion.
Oh God. So literally under the guidance of Coach Frank and also Coach Barry, the under 15s have finished the season unbeaten and champions in their division. Well done. Coach Frank,
Yes,
would kind of love to kind of get like a brief summary of like how you're feeling right now and literally how some of like the guys are feeling.
Initial feelings yesterday. We played yesterday, our last game, and we're buzzing it. We've done really well as a side. The year's been very unpredictable in terms of the whole lockdown and COVID and stuff. And since coming back, it was a difficult game. The first game against strong side, tough side,
Escalade.
Yeah, Escalade, and we played really well. That was a real good test for us, and I was really encouraged in terms of how the boys they held out, because we were leading, and then the other team came back, and we were sort of hanging on. I thought we could have lost it, but they did dig in there and they did really well. So that sort of carried us through to yesterday, where we remained unbeaten. So it's been a good season. We've done very well. Been really encouraged with some of the performances. So it's development, and we're developing nicely. Really doing well. So really encouraged in terms of where we're steering at the moment. It's very good. Very, very good.
Oh, great stuff. And to you, Coach Barry, how proud of are you regarding like the boys, the management? I mean, you must be over the moon.
I was emotional yesterday all day because I just had a feeling it's going to be a great day for the club. But concerning the under 15s, they've come a long way, because we have to rebuild the side in the last 2 seasons. So there's been a lot of rebuilding, a lot of new recruitment. A lot of the under 15s are under 14s, so they're playing up here. But because they're such good players, we've pushed them up here, and they've had to adjust to it, the transition from, especially the physicality. But Another thing what people don't realise, the under-15s haven't even got a goalkeeper. We've had a goalkeeper for one game. We had only one game.
Well done, boys.
So they play week in and week out without a goalkeeper. But it's credit to like what Frank's done, and the boys have put their heads down. And once again, the support from the parents and everybody getting involved, why we've reached so far. And the club's always been about an all-round commitment from everyone. So it's not just us, it's the all-round commitment what pushes us through. And the boys are developing nicely. We've got lots of clubs coming down now, watching. We've had Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea in the last 4 weeks come to watch the club. So
amazing.
We're doing something right. We're doing something right. And we've just been invited to go down to Cobham to play a game. So it's a really great day for us. And I just clap, especially Frank's come in and he's really helped. And I was at a very low point. He's come in and really helped me. And I just say thank you again, Frank, for coming in at a time. But God always knows what he's doing when he brings someone around you. So thank you. That's a good one.
It's been my pleasure. It really has been. And you've driven me on as well, Barry. You really have pushed me on. So it's from you that I've come into the club and just seen the family unit that it is. So it's really encouraging. It's fantastic. Really good.
No, amazing. Nana, actually, I'm going to open it up to the panelists. Have you got any questions for Frank?
I suppose I've got one. I know it's about development. The main thing is developing the players, but then there also has to be a switch where you switch on to go for the competitive edge to keep them going. And as you touched on earlier, when you said with the COVID season, how did you manage to keep them going over that period where you didn't know whether the season was going to start again or not, and then to know it started, and then to get them to hit the ground running?
That's a really interesting question. Because of the fact you're not supposed to be meeting up and so on, it is a difficult question. It's just trying to keeping in touch with some of the boys and Barry in terms of how certain some of the boys are doing, whether they be training by themselves. I mean, my son plays for the team as well, so I would go out with him on a Saturday and do bits and pieces, just to keep ourselves going. But yeah, it's been mainly through contact with Barry and just seeing how some of the boys are. But yeah, it's difficult because of the whole COVID. You can't meet and that type of thing. It's quite difficult. But once we got the go ahead, we got the boys together. We started training, and they were doing really well. They're doing really well.
Good.
Question to Barry. Question to Barry.
Before you go on, I was just worried because I thought that the missus had locked Fabrice's Wi-Fi off. So
I mean, listen. I mean, hey.
Sorry, he's back. So yeah, please go ahead.
I am struggling, idiot.
Question to Barry.
Yes.
If I'm a parent with a son who's okay, I think he's a good player. How would you sell your club to me to bring my son down?
How would I sell my club?
Yeah,
well,
most
people that come down already know about the club or they know me.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that.
But what happens most of the time, I tell them, I invite you down and say, come and see if the environment's right for your child. Come and see if the people around, if the training, you like the training, because the training is very intense at times, and not all boys can adjust to the type of training we do. And the most important thing is the boy comfortable within the club? You as a parent might want him there, but is the boy comfortable with the other boys? Is he fitting in? Because some boys, what come in the beginning are so quiet, you don't really know. It takes time. So before you can play, I let them train, meet everyone, and see if this is the right club for them. and they're the right club for us, because not everyone's coachable. So it's a joint thing. Is it right for you, and is it right for us at the club? So it is a joint thing, Paul. And I make that very clear in the beginning. It's a joint thing. So if we fit, we move on. If we don't fit, then we go our ways. It's simple. Because you have to have someone who respects you and is willing that you can coach. Same like the men's team. He could be a brilliant player, but he doesn't fit. So, and sometimes you explain that to the parent and then move on. He's not right with the boy. He's not comfortable. He doesn't feel it's the right place for him.
No. Okay.
Coach Frank, I have a question for you. I think we've all been brought up in an era where, we can kind of get a really good telling off from the manager if we're not following out instructions. How has that type of discipline for you changed now at the under 15s level, and of course now probably having parents and uncles and aunties there witnessing your communication skills?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with telling somebody off if they're not doing something they're not supposed to do, or they're not following instructions. But there's ways of communicating with youngsters that you need to get your point across without seeing overly too confrontational, because some of the boys, initially when I came to the club as a coach, you would speak to some of the boys and they would go into their shell a little bit, so it's having an element of trust with them in terms of when you're saying something or trying to highlight something that it's for the betterment of them. It's not about telling them off. It's about improving them as a player. So yeah, that's what I try and get across. It's not about telling off. It's about improving them as players and individuals as well. Because it's not just about football; it's about development of self as well. So yeah, that's how I go about doing it.
Yeah, love that.
And I've got a question. Nana, you're on mute, so I'm going to go next. It's all right, Nana, you can stay on mute.
Nana, you know what? Stay on mute.
Yeah, you was on mute. Okay. Frank, question,
Yes,
Frank.
Yes,
so this team's unbeaten all season, and we will celebrate that. We will celebrate that achievement.
Absolutely.
How do you feel you're going to refocus them to get them to go again next year? Because it's quite possible in the summer you may lose a few to academies. You may, because you've got scouts coming to watch.
Yeah.
How do you envisage easy or hard it will be to refocus them and go again next season?
I don't think it's going to be too difficult. It's, for me, football's about improving all the time. It's about having goals to trying to achieve something all the time, to try and better yourself, to try and improve. So for me, they're not the complete article, and I don't think any player is. So it's all about improving all the time. So I don't think it's a difficult thing for me to try and get them to get going again. It's about enjoying it. For me, it's about enjoying the moment and actually playing football. So from when we can have that within the training sessions and in the environment as well, I think once you have that, you can do wonders. You can do wonders. Once you're enjoying something, you have an enthusiasm there as well. The world your oyster, really, So I don't think that's going to be a real issue.
Brilliant. And I just want to thank you to everyone that's been putting in their comments. Jacob Smith, Frank is a really good coach. Strict, shows you stuff that you can work on and will never give up on you. And he shows you new stuff and attitude to become a better player.
Thank you, Jacob. The check's in the post.
Oh dear. I mean, I've got a question.
Can I ask my question out, please?
So okay, sorry.
Hello?
Okay, Nana, go on then.
Flipping hell.
Yes. Go on,
How
Tom.
are you gonna do today? Right. So Frank, mine is not. It's not exactly a question. It's a commendation.
Okay.
People don't realize how difficult, especially teenagers, the age that they are, from 12 to 16, how difficult it is to manage them, to get them off the streets playing football. People don't realize what goes on behind the scenes and what a good job you're doing. So congrats for getting to be champs. Congrats you and Barry both for being role models in this kid's life. Give them an aim, give them a focus, and please keep doing what you're doing, because in times like these where there's a lot of stabbings and killings and all sorts happening on the streets of London, the boys need something to focus on. So yeah, please keep doing what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, you're so correct. Football is just more than football. There's life skills involved as well, and hopefully, if we can get that message across to them, as well as enjoying their sport, as well as conducting themselves when they're not with us, that is what really drives me on. To see young boys becoming men and good human beings as well. That's very, very important. So yeah, that's something I try to try and push in as well. Life skills, So yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
And Coach Frank, I mean, hey, could you kind of give us a 1 minute history about your footballing career?
Okay, quick.
I've got to ask.
Okay, yeah. So I was playing for Brentford as a youngster, Brentford Academy. I got released. Then I went to play. I did a soccer scholarship in North Carolina. So I went to the States to play. From there, I came back to England and started playing semi-pro. Hayes, Harrow, Borough, more down the West London route. So yeah, Hayes, Harrow, Borough, brief spell at Tooting and Mitcham. Didn't last too long, but yeah, just semi-pro for quite some time, and yeah, just started coaching youngsters after that. Really.
Cool. So no experience playing anywhere up north.
Up north, as in how far north are we going? Watford or?
No, I'm kind of looking, past Birmingham. So Birmingham, Nottingham, Sheffield, Leeds.
Not Leeds, no. Too cold for me, I think. No. Too cold.
I just had to ask.
Yeah.
But with social media, and again, with the under 14s, and again, I don't know if the under 14s have phones. Well, they probably do, but I mean, again, they kind of see their favorite players, favorite boots, products, equipment, etc. How important is it for you, Coach Frankie, and also for you, Coach Barry, to kind of keep them focused and to keep them grounded, and also to tell them, look, these guys that you see on TV and on social media, there's a journey behind their success.
You want that one, Barry? Coach Barry, do you want me to?
Sorry. Was it about social media? Sorry.
Yeah, do you want to answer that one? Is that anybody?
But Barry's just asleep.
Coach, was my question that boring to you? I'm
Barry, knock it off. It's nap time. Nap time. Frank, I think you got to run with this one, Frank. I think you got to run with this.
Okay. I mean, I have a son who plays, right? And he wants the latest boots. He looks at what Neymar does. He's looking at the latest skills and stuff. But I think sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time, I try and highlight to them you don't see the work behind that skill that he's doing now. You don't see the training that he's had to do to get to that level, to get to those things that he has now. People don't see what the Ronaldos and the Messis and the Neymars have to do. They only see the end product. So it's just trying to focus on the hard work that they're doing. You know, they say hard work beats talent every day of the week, right? So yeah, just trying to focus on the hard work. If you just focus on that hard work, you'll get there. You know, you'll get there.
I think also what a lot of we keep missing out on is the support. A lot of players don't make it because there is no support, no family support. And we keep missing out on the commitment. Once you do get to the academy and you're going to academy 4 times a week, playing a game at the weekend, it's a lot of work on the family. It impacts a lot on the family. And some boys do not have that support. A lot of the times I'm talking to parents regularly and trying to explain to them what it takes for your son to go to that next stage. A lot of boys fail because they do not have that backup. They don't have that support. So us keeping them focused is also keeping the parents to understand the commitment of what it is to become your son, even to become an academy or a professional or a semi-professional footballer. It's not just the work, it's the encouragement from the family backing. Many of you have played and didn't get the support. I know that, in fact.
Yeah.
So we cannot ignore that fact. So I'm always explaining to parents what it takes to get your son. Don't just say you want your son in an academy. Remember the commitment it's going to take getting in there 3-4 times a week and to the games, because you may be traveling up and down the country as well with your child.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to risk. I kept quiet. I heard your question, but I want Frank to speak because you always hear me speak. I want you to...
All right, Barry. You look like you are asleep with your eyes open.
No. Can you cook?
Yeah.
Well, I can say.
No, seriously. After that performance yesterday, you should not be talking. Anyways, I got a question for Frank and Coach B. So 2 questions. I think overall, in terms of kids trying to make it, these young athletes trying to make a professional, semi-professional career. The first question is, what does it really take to stand out? And also, what is your take on the opinion that academy football isn't fit for purpose, especially the Category 2 and Category 3 clubs?
Interesting question. Fit for purpose. Okay.
What do you mean by fit for purpose, Jamal?
Isn't carrying out what it's designed to do?
I think with academy football, I think the percentage of players coming through speaks for itself. I think the worst thing they've done in academy is under 23 football. And I've always said it, the main thing what makes a boy into a professional, how does he adapt to the transition of going up? And the hardest transition is from youth to men, totally different game. So a lot of clubs do push boys into semi-professional clubs. And a lot of them who do go to semi-professional clubs can't even play that standard of football, men's football. They turn them back and send them back to their clubs. Because under 23, if you watch it, it looks non-competitive. It looks like a friendly game, most of them. And a lot of managers are really upset with the under 23 system. But a lot of it is about transition, mentality. Because as you know, when you're a young man and you start playing from 17, 18 or 16 into men's football, you realize the difference of the strength, mentality, the physicality, the fitness, the speed. It's completely different. So clubs have got to start rethinking, how do we get boys up to that level? Because it ain't worth having a ton of 23s, under 18s are not good enough to get into your first team. What's the point? So many boys aren't coming through those channels. I think the FA need to rethink what they've done. When it was back in the day with reserve football, was all the players played. We didn't have that under 23. Everyone played reserve. So you get 17, 18-year-olds playing against people who they admire, like stars on the pitch. I used to go to Barnet to watch Arsenal, older to watch Arsenal reserves play. So I think they should go back to that. That was a much better system and was getting more players from here through. But even though football's changed now, so much foreign players coming into it. So it's harder and harder each time.
Frank, what's your take on that?
On what Barry just said, or I agree to a certain extent in what he's saying. I mean, I know Brentford as an academy, they did get rid of their academy system at one time, didn't they? They scrapped the whole academy system because they were saying it wasn't financially viable in terms of the players that were coming through.
Frank, the reason they Brentford scrapped, all their best players are getting stolen. So they said it didn't make sense. So they had to change up all what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because they got a great scouting system, as you can see.
Yeah.
They produced so many top players, and they were just being raped year after year. So they just got rid of them.
Okay.
I mean, from an accounting perspective, you know, if you are not generating talent from your academies, then you are just wasting money. Unless you're going to put it either to corporate social responsibility or community work, you are just spending out 500 grand, 600 grand, 2 million a year to sort of feed an academy system that doesn't feed your first team. Now, I'm the referee academy director now at Arsenal and at Charlton Athletic, and it's been interesting being at those sort of clubs on a regular basis because every time they sell a player, you see an improvement made to the training ground. You know, you're at Palace now; they're resurfacing all the pitches, they're building a brand new dome, and you know that's the money that they've received from Manchester United for selling Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and that's just how that trickle down system even improves the local community. But if you aren't creating that in your academy, then it is just a waste of money. So when Crawley Town and Brentford and these sort of clubs were thinking like, wait, let's just scrap it. I know Leyton Orient were thinking about it as well. But I think it's interesting. A lot of people don't think that the academy system is fit for purpose because not enough players are making it to the first team. I mean, for me, I just see it as this isn't really just a football thing. This is a sport thing. I think in order to get those elite youth players, so if you look at some of the players that were seen as some of the elite when they were young, like Theo Walcott, Wayne Rooney, Jack Wilshere, like Jesse Lingard, forget about how they were, with the exception of Wayne Rooney maybe. Forget about how they were when they got to the first team. When these kids were between 14 and 17, these were like some of the best players that people have ever seen at that level, you know? So it's just, when you think about the academy system, you wouldn't be able to create those players unless you had a bunch of players for them to train with who had no chance of getting into the first team. Now, in boxing or mixed martial arts, UFC, that's deemed as okay. Oh, I need a sparring partner. I have a fight. I'm fighting this fighter called Quicksand. I'm going to fight him in a couple of weeks. Now, can I pay you to be my sparring partner? You'll never be in the ring. You'll never be fighting for any. You'll never be a prize fighter. You never fight for the title. But I need you to sharpen me. I think if people had that mentality with the academies, they wouldn't have this negativity about, oh, the too many people aren't going to get in the first team. They build these kids up and then drop them down. So that's my take on it. But for people like Coach Barry and Frank who are getting kids from grassroots into the academy, it's just interesting, who deal with that every day. It's just interesting to get their take on it too.
Can I ask you a question, Jamal? Sorry, Frank. Can I ask you a question, Jamal? So as a referee, you've refereed academy games. Do you see, when you're refereeing an academy game and a men's game, do you see a difference in the intensity, in the sense of when you're doing this academy game and you see what you've got to deal with as a referee, do you see a direct jump in physicality when you start doing men's game? And then in your opinion, do you see those games as a stepping stone, a viable stepping stone into that next level that the boys are ultimately trying to get to?
Great question. And that, without going in a roundabout way, I don't think in terms of the footballing tribes, so if you look at people who do football administration, people who do coaching, scouting, physio, I think of all the footballing tribes right now, in terms of football development, the most underused tribe for football development right now is referees. So that's something that I'm starting to change. I've had a meeting with Crystal Palace and Millwall in the past week about starting referee training as part of the academy curriculum, because I just don't think referees as tribes are being used well enough towards football development. And the reason why is your question. We are at these games. We get to see the players in a way that even the coaches can't, because I'm in amongst them. I see how they speak to each other. I see how they speak to me and my fourth official and my two assistants. I get to see them play from an angle that people never. It's almost impossible to see. And then next level, with creating that new sort of referee education program for these up and coming players is probably referees becoming scouts or having some sort of scouting ability, because some of the best players that I've officiated, straight at the top, Callum Harriott, Ademola Lookman, refereeing him, it just felt like cheating. I could not believe I got paid to officiate someone that good. And then when he's 17 playing in the under 23s and laughing because it's not enough of a challenge, crazy. Nathan Aki was an excellent player, and getting access to those players is just crazy. To answer Ray's question specifically, can I see? Yes. Sometimes when I'm refereeing, even the other days, so the last one I did, I think was Crystal Palace versus Southampton under 18s. I literally can go player for player. You'll make it step 3. You can play step 4. You'll struggle at step 4. You have a chance for the first team. You step 1. You might make EFL. You can literally see it. And then if I go and do a Barclays under 18s match, and then go and officiate a step 3 match, the intensity of the step 3 now is just crazy. The pace of it is crazy. The time goes to watch so quickly because I'm concentrating so hard. And it just isn't the same for the academy level. It does have that friendly pace. It does have that chess feel to it. It does have that feel of people trying to learn how to play versus people who know how to win. So, but I'm telling you now, for all the football minds who are watching this, for everyone on the panel, right now, the most underused tribe towards football development is definitely referees, because we have an angle towards the game that others just don't have.
And you see, but that's to see what I think Barry's trying to say and what he's getting at. And I agree totally. At the end of the day, for me personally, looking at a young boy, you see them do well. It's like you see these players and you hear them in clubs and they say, oh, this one's going to be one to watch. And when they drop them into the full professional game and they're now up against guys who are seasoned pros going in 100 miles an hour, you can sometimes see they look like rabbit in headlights. And I just think sometimes we, in this country anyway, we mollycoddle the young players a little bit too much. There has to be a point of, it's like when you remove the competitive edge and they're like, well, we don't want people to experience losing. To me, you need that fire, you need that edge, you need to test them. And just dropping them into a time where it's make or break for them, I sometimes feel is unfair because they haven't had a chance to be tested. It is unfair
because everyone can't be Theo Walcott and Wayne Rooney, where you're breaking in from 14, you're almost internationally known. Even Sergio Aguero, back on my side of the world, Sergio Aguero was big from when he's 15. Pablo Aimar, these kind of players. There are players like Zinedine Zidane who didn't even become a world elite player until he's all 26. People develop at different rates. But the way the academy structure is now, you have to be pretty sick at 16, 17, 18. Thankfully, there's now the under 23 system. So if you are a late bloomer and you're able to get a pro when you're 18, you have an extra year or so. But if you aren't a very, very sick player from 16, 17, you're going to have to go into non-league. And going into non-league you can have a pretty decent career. You can get paid pretty well at non-league now, which is good. If your aim is to get to the highest level, once you hit non-league, it's pretty much over for you. It's no different than you look at any elite player. You look at any elite England player. You look at any. Well, you have to name me a player. It's talking about being elite. You have to name me a player who has 50 Champions League caps, who played in the Champions League final, semi-final, played for a top 4 club regularly, who played in non-league for more than a year.
That's an unfair question. That's an unfair question.
You get to non-league.
The one you don't get caps.
Hold on, wait.
You're talking about an elite player. You're talking about an elite. Remember, my statement is, once you touch non-league, I don't know of anyone who's then become an elite player. I know several who have
Vardy elite.
Barry Burton, go on and on and on.
Is Vardy elite?
Barry, so we're talking about elite players. So Jamie Vardy is a good example, but
Jamal,
that isn't someone who has Champions League caps.
Sorry,
that someone who's going to play at a World Cup.
You know what, Jamal?
That's how I see it.
You know what, Jamal? Let kind of Coach Frank answer that. Go on.
No, I disagreed with what he said, because I think every player has a different pathway. Sometimes you have to drop a level to come back up again. And it's happened to quite a lot of footballers. You don't just make it just like that. Sometimes you have to drop down and make your way up again. So there's different pathways for everybody. It's not just one pathway. You know, the Wayne Rooney's and that, they're exceptional. But most footballers have to drop down a level and then come back up again.
When you look at Ian Wright,
drop
Ian
down
Wright
a
was another
level,
one.
yes. Drop down a level. But I mean, if we're talking about the elite, so whoever you consider to be elite now. So if you're talking about, you know, Raheem Sterling, or if you're talking about whomever you think is elite, Lewandowski, whomever, you know, these players will never get to a level where they're probably even lower than the second tier in the country, so championship. All I'm saying is, if you're talking about once you go to non-league, is your career over? Of course not. You can have an excellent professional career. I think with the academy, especially if you're a category 1, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, and you're really trying to even dream of being a Bergkamp or an Henry or a Harry Kane, once you drop to non-league, it's probably not going to happen to you. For instance, when a player has to go out on loan, if you play for a Premier League club and you get sent on loan to a championship club, I know that player can have a Premier League future. If a kid is an under 23, plays for Spurs under 23, and gets loaned out to Dulwich Hamlet or something like that, it's very rare he's going to be able to come back up to the Premier League. And
where did Harry Kane go?
Exactly.
Harry Kane was
go non-league though.
No, he didn't go non-league. He was sent out on loan to, I believe it was Leicester when they were in League One when he went to Leicester. And he was sent on loan. Right. So yeah, go on, bro.
I remember we saw Peter Crouch at Dulwich Hamlet.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I forgot him. Yeah, Peter Crouch was Dulwich Hamlet.
Those
Champions League goals.
Well, Peter Crouch was an elite youth kid as well. I mean, he was pretty well known. I remember he was. That's
another one.
I think he came from Villa, but even so, I mean, people are coming up with some names. Jamie Vardy is probably the exception to the rule, but many probably wouldn't consider him elite. He definitely had some elite performing seasons for sure.
What about Ian Wright? What did you say about Ian Wright?
Ian Wright. Pierce. There's loads of them, Barry.
I don't know. Hey, listen, you know what, guys? You know,
if people can come up with facts to prove me wrong, cool.
Jamal, Jamal, hold on. You know, again, this that could be a different topic, but you know, don't forget, it's Independence Day. It's Independence Day, so let's kind of get back to like the kind of independent under 15s, and literally when we're kind of talking about elite players and players for the future, we are talking about the under 15s at Independence. So, Coach Frank, your objectives for next season.
Tabriz, sorry, Tabriz. Can you just put up H2O's comment, please? I like that one. Are you seeing Jamal try to turn off his camera, please? Here we go. Paul, your fan club wants you to deal with Jamal, please. You know, when Jamal talks a bit too much, he gets a bit too carried away. Paul, please just remind him.
I'm taking it easy tonight because I drank a lot of brandy yesterday, so I'm taking it easy tonight.
Coach, so Coach and Frank, your objectives for like next season.
It's for me, for the players, just to keep developing, just to move from that. There's a standard of football, what they were playing before, under 10s, under 11s, under 12s football, which was it's a different type of football to move into a youth under 15, under 16s. I want to see more maturity from their play, a lot more control in terms of, you know, how we control games. So there's a shift. There's got to be a development in terms of how they understand the game now. More of the players coming out themselves and actually using their voice to communicate, which is very important. A lot of them now don't communicate. They do more talking off the pitch than they do on it, you know? So the communication verbally is very, very important. And some of them don't have it yet. So I'm looking for that progression, coming out of themselves more and expressing themselves more, you know, being more confident in terms of believing in themselves. Because a lot of them we've got very, very good players at this club. And a lot of them play within themselves at sometimes. So it's just trying to get that, what they have inside out. So that's what I'm looking for them to try and do, you know. and just play to their potential, really, because everyone has their level. Just to find their level in terms of what they can achieve and progress towards that. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Amazing. And you know what, Coach Frank, you are always welcome back onto this show, onto this panel. And you know what, there's going to be more debates. So honestly, thank you so much.
Okay, appreciate that. Thank you very much for having me.
Is he going?
I can stay if you want me to.
Well, I mean, you can stay.
Where you are? Where you going?
Okay.
My dinner's in the oven, Barry. No, I'm good to stay. I said my dinner's in the oven, but I'm good to stay.
Don't worry about that, man.
It's fine.
I've got jollof cooking, Barry. Come on.
Sprinkle some water on it and you'll be good, man.
I'll be coming around for some jollof soon. Don't worry.
All right. Good to stay.
Cool. All right. Well, let's.
Did you cook the jollof yourself?
Okay, so,
Huh?
Did you cook the jollof yourself, Frank?
Yeah, I can cook jollof now.
Please, give
That wasn't the question.
pointers.
Wait, that wasn't the question. That wasn't the question. He didn't answer the question. He said, "Did you cook this jollof, Frank?"
I could cook jollof. But I haven't got jollof, not yet. But I can.
Oh, so you didn't cook it? Okay.
No.
Nah.
I can cook it though. That's the question. I can cook it. That's the answer. Sorry. Yes.
Nah.
Yes, Barry.
What's the better jollof, Nigerian or Ghanaian?
Come on, that's not a discussion now. Don't even answer.
that's a one conversation, you know. Let's not sidetrack. Anyway, honestly, again, thank you to all of the questions and the comments about the under 15s. We are now moving on to the other spectrum. We are talking about independent vets.
You.
Nana, champion. Yeah. Oh gosh, crazy. It's crazy. Listen, I mean, so the independent vets won the Beckenham Hospital Cup, defending champions. May I kind of add that? And again, it was, you know, let me not talk about it. Let's kind of go to management of the vets. Let's kind of actually, I've got some comments already. Congratulations to the vets who are winning the cup. And I've seen a lot more, but hey, you know, I'm gonna literally catch up. Ray and Paul. Ray, let me kind of start with you briefly. Could you kind of briefly just talk about the first half, and then literally I let Paul talk about the second.
Why does he get the good half? Okay. Okay. I'll take that.
There wasn't a good half, to be fair.
Oh.
Well, it is in terms of the result. Well, the first thing I want to do is thank everyone that came out for the final. I want to give a shout out to Caldecott. They came all the way down from Birmingham or Rugby, and yeah, they cheered their heart out, and yeah, it was good to see them off screen. So yeah, I give them a round of applause for coming, and all the people that were there, because you didn't actually appreciate how many people was there until whatever happened. Anyway, on to the first half. We set out a game plan. We had watched them at the semi-final, and fair play to them. They switched it up on us. We'd worked on a system, and they switched it up. And I don't know whether it was, some people said it was because we didn't have a game in the week between the cup game and the final. The warm-up, they didn't. The players, I don't know if they felt a little bit stage fright, what it was, but we lacked a lot of intensity in the first half. We didn't compete as well as we should do. We were second to balls. Like, we just weren't at the races in the first half, and I felt they dominated us in some areas of the pitch. We conceded. We saw what their plan was, and we didn't adapt to it quick enough. We allowed them to keep executing what they wanted to do instead of imposing ourselves on them. We stood off too much and just gave them room to express themselves. They had a plan. It was a aerial bombardment at some points, but there was a method to it that we just didn't catch on to. Gave away the first goal. I think there was a bit of miscommunication. We didn't pressure the ball. A long diagonal and a good header into the corner. Keeper had no chance. Almost straight after that, as you try and rally yourself and get yourself back into it, we make a basic error, let the ball bounce. Didn't do the right things at that moment. Striker nips in, and then we bring him down, penalty, and you're uphill from there on in. And literally, I mean uphill, because the pitch was like some kind of, I don't know, rolling hill or whatever. But anyway, so you're up against it, and you're just hoping as the manager that you get a goal back before half time, and you kind of put doubt into their mind rather than allowing them to start the second half with a 2-0 head start, and that just gives them an added boost. And luckily, we got one back just before half time and managed to get them in. And I must admit, I've spoken to some of the players today, and normally team talks, I normally go first and say my bit, and then Paul comes in. But I could see Paul was itching to just unleash on them. So he highlighted all the bits that was going wrong and really gave them a talking to. And we had in our minds had made some adjustments, and yeah, got them in at half time. And I'll let Paul go from here.
We can't hear you, Paul. Yeah, Paul. Paul, are you there? We can't hear you.
Paul's mic is not on mute.
No, you're not on mute.
Paul, you ain't got your AirPods in. Are they still connected?
Gosh, lucky communication. Jesus Christ. Had all this time.
Oh, gosh. So the first goal was scored by Nels. I see the comment. So Nels actually got a good header in. Good header. Got us back into it. So, and to be fair to him, as much as I cuss him, since he's joined the team, he scored a lot of important goals for us in the short space that he's been with us. He seems to have a knack of coming up with some big goals for us at important moments. I can't take that away from him. So I'll give him that one. Is Paul back, or do I go on to the second half?
Coach Paul? Can you... hello, Coach? No.
Oh, well, I should just... I might as well carry on.
You know what? Carry on, Ray.
So anyway, we changed the system of the team, and we brought on Tabrice, and oh gosh, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, so brought on Tabrice in the middle of the park, and I felt, and that's not because you're on the show, but I do think you changed the tide of the game, because finally we had someone in there who was willing to compete at the same intensity that they were, in terms of even if you're not winning the ball, there's a challenge that they're going to have to deal with, instead of allowing them to just have it their own way, and then just play the simple pass once you got it. And that then allowed us, we came out second half and we came out a much more dangerous proposition for them. We created a good few chances within the first 5-10 minutes. Could and should have been level.
Hello?
There you are, Paul.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
You carry on.
All right. So,
okay, hold on. So it's literally, I think Ray said that I changed the momentum of the game. Can you just?
Yeah, that's what Ray says.
Right.
That's what Ray says. Okay, so let's okay. So I'll touch on a little bit from the start. The warm-up, there was no intensity at all. And what I always say is, if there's no intensity, you're going to bring that onto the pitch. I don't know if it was the fact that most of them had to wear a white shirt, and it brought them back to the time when they have to go to court. I don't know, but that might have affected them. It just wasn't us. It just wasn't us. There was no this, intensity to me. The way we play, it's a must. It's in our blood. And if it's not there, it's going to be a bad day at the office. And it just wasn't there at the start. We knew how they were going to play. Yes, they did 4 instead of 3 because they play 3 at the back. They did 4. But it was the same thing. We actually, it was like, I don't think it could have been much more clearer game plan than we had all season. What they did. And our guys fell into their trap. First ball, as Ray said, from right to left, just a ball into the box. Just a ball into the box. Not defend. It was a good header from the boy. He's headed it back where it's come from. Good, Second, defender's got to do better. I know Ray said he's got to do better. And to be fair to him, his head could have dropped, but he kept on battling. We got the goal at first half. I could personally see it slipping away because we just wasn't playing. And it's one of those games where if the game was to end now, what you're going to say to them in the changing room, it's not going to be pretty. And they've only got themselves to blame because there was so much more to give. So we've got to go back. We've done our team talk only for adult ears. And we sent them on our way. Ray's the much cooler of the two of us. And we sent them on the way to make amends for the first half. Yes, we made a change. We just felt that the centre half wasn't being engaged as much as we had told them to. And he's the one that they sort of feed off. He's winning headers. He's touch tight to them. He's feeling where they are. He's getting around, winning the ball. He's growing in confidence, and their backline is growing in confidence because he's doing well. We just needed someone to to be up there, to not give him free headers, to slow him down because we know that's all he's got. He's just one of those centre backs that likes to head the ball, get him on the ground, get the ball either side of him. He's lost. So that changed. Bruce came on. Yes, you made a difference for sure. Fresh blood. Our bench is always strong all season, which is a great thing for our club, our vets club. We've got 7. You can use 7 subs. Sometimes we've got 9 players. 9 subs. It's crazy. It's crazy. So that helped. It was a warm day. Pitch was ridiculous. Ref, I have to say, very biased. Was all over. I know we've got 2 refs on the panel. Ref was all over the place. And
we will talk about that later. But let's focus on the game.
Okay, so the second half starts. We're playing downhill now. So obviously we had won the toss. We wanted to go uphill. If it was going tits up, which I didn't expect it to, but obviously the way it rolled out. It was in the first half. We were going downhill, so we were going to put them on the back foot. Obviously from Mel's kicks. We started getting into them. Our passing was much more quicker. The press was a little bit better. It wasn't as full as it should have been, but it was a little bit better. People were breaking lines. And you can see there was joy there. They had a few chances. And our goalkeeper, Mel, I have to say, I was glad that he came to the right ground, I have to say, because that is something that happens. He goes to the wrong ground. I don't know what sat nav he's got in the BMW, but
that's a Mercedes.
He's been to twice now.
Twice, and his dad was there. That's why.
And I have to say, I have to say as well, Mr. Nana forgot the speaker. Yeah, you're smiling. He forgot the speaker. He rings me and asks me, "Where's everybody?" I'm at John Rowan's ground. I mean, Nana, that's where the after party is. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We didn't know this.
We didn't know this.
Of course, no.
We did not know this.
I kept it a secret, but I
that's a fine, Nana. Fine.
He went to Barry. He went to the wrong ground.
Nana.
Sorry, it was 2 minutes away. I knew the ground was 2 minutes.
Pre-match nerves.
Pre-match nerves, yeah. So I have to. It was I loved the atmosphere with the crowd. It was a beautiful day. I loved the atmosphere, and I met so much people after the game that I had, had a great chat with and stuff.
We finished our second half yet.
Oh, I'm going. We played like we should have played in the first half. In their faces, moving the ball quicker, breaking lines. We've got back to 2-2 from a mistake by them, from their goalkeeper. And we've got back, and it's about 9 minutes with with injury time. There was quite a few people going down with injury time, but you can't trust that ref. So it was about 9 minutes, I would say, and then all hell broke loose. Midfielder Nels scores a worldie, I have to say. Top corner, goalkeeper can't reach it. What?
No, I'm saying I'm reading the comment. I'm reading the comment from Nels. That's another fine as well. That's the next fine.
So he's scored a worldie. Keeper can't.
Oh,
Paul's gone right at the critical time.
Jesus, gone out. Wow, has he gone? Okay, well,
okay, I'll finish off. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
You want ready to finish off?
I'm back in. Yeah, I'm back in.
I have some things to say. I can't wait. But yeah, if you want to go ahead.
Well, I would. Well, I'm gonna have something to say about you as well, Jamal. That's all right. Don't worry.
Okay, let's
stay on target. Let's stay on target. So anyway, so we're at what 2-2. Well, the referees told us there's 5 minutes to go before we scored. We've had a man, I believe, unfairly sin-binned. Yes, I think he gave the referee a decision to make, which is always wrong. But I thought it was harsh to sin-bin him over that situation. And bearing in mind the exact same thing happened a few moments after, and there was nothing done. So that's by the by. So we're down to 10 men at the time. We've got the equalizer, and we're in the ascendancy now. You can see that goal kind of, because they were hanging on for it. They were just, as Paul said, wasting time, trying to roll down the clock. We've got the ball down into the channel, I believe, and Nino's kept it on, hooked it back, and Nelson's taken a touch, and bang, top bins. Then you think to yourself, okay, do you sit there and do you hold on? Do you now do what they're doing, hold on? But that's never been our way. Our way is always to keep going and just kill what we can see. So we've got another breakaway when they've come and killed the game off, and our centre-back, for some reason, has found himself. Well, you know what? Actually, I've got to pause, because the centre-back, the touch for the third goal, I'll give Dwayne that touch. That touch was a very good touch to kill it and feed it down. And then for some reason, he's found himself making a run from centre-back to go in, get the pull back, and kill the game at 4-2. But as Paul said, for me, if Mel doesn't make the saves he makes, we don't even think about getting those goals back. Because to be fair to him, all season, he's made saves at crucial times for us. And he talks the most and he gives us hell. But when you see him make saves like that, you have to kind of take your hat off and say, you know what, you can say what you want. Because big saves at big moments, that's what wins you games. And it gives us the confidence to then go on and win it. So, no, it was an amazing day. And just watching, I mean, when the third goal went in, not as equalizer went in, I've tried to keep the sideline because some of them have run on the pitch, and I'm trying to keep calm. The third goal's gone in, and I'm turning to the sideline to say, don't run on the pitch, because I know what the referee's going to try to add more time on. But now I'm looking at the other side of the pitch, and it's at that moment you realise how many people are in there supporting you. I mean, at one point, I could see Nana's missus on the pitch doing aeroplanes, running around, killing them with aeroplanes. So you kind of just, you look at it, and we were exhausted. We were literally exhausted on the side, because you want to win that much. When people come, you want to make it worthwhile and carry the day on. And especially you've heard the under 15s have won, so you think we got to do our part. So it was a wicked day, and to be honest, joining Independent, that was what I wanted for the club. I wanted to get to a final, and I wanted to see the young players there, parents there, our fans, and just to see that, it was wicked. It was absolutely wicked. And that had the biggest smile on my face when we took a picture with the kids and some of the other parents. That's what it's about. Forget us at the end of the day. As you said, we are at the other end of the scale and we're winding down. But moments like that, it gives you that extra bit to keep going. So, no, it was, wicked. So, that was... Tabrice, you're on mute, Tabrice.
You're mute.
That's got
to be a fine. That's got to be a fine. That's a fine.
So,
that's a
sorry.
fine.
So, Coach Frank, Coach Barry, Nana, and Jamal. Before we get your opinions, I've got two people from Caldecott that literally came down to actually support. We have Josh and Jacko. Let me just add them to the stream.
Evening, guys.
Jacko and Josh, how you doing?
What's going on?
Evening, guys.
Guys, I want to say quickly, congratulations to you and the under-15s. We come down yesterday. Honestly, what a day. Seriously, what a game, what an ending. It was absolutely amazing. It was worth the trip and everything, It was great to support you guys, It was brilliant. It was just brilliant. Even to Bruce's overhead kick and everything, even the small details of the game.
Jack, we weren't going to talk about that, Jack. We wasn't going to talk about that. We weren't going to talk about that. Please.
That should have won it.
Oh, dear. No, but yeah, honestly, thank you guys for coming down. I know that there was about 6, 7, actually probably about 8 or 9 of you that came down. Josh, I mean, for you, how was the whole experience? Sorry, what was that? How was the whole experience for you, Josh? Kind of coming down and actually meeting the guys and just being part of the game.
Well, to be honest, this is I've never really done anything like this, teams and stuff like that. So to actually come down and see, obviously getting into more different teams and see what different people are about, and just have the whole experience, it was actually it was kind of really weird, if anything, because I'm not used to it, but it was so exciting, and there was never a dull moment in the game for me. So I personally really enjoyed it. I couldn't have enjoyed it anymore.
Oh, brilliant. And Jacko, the same question.
Sorry, could you repeat the question again?
So literally, how was it for you, the whole experience, meeting the guys, the whole game, itself. I mean, yeah, I would kind of love to get your opinion.
Like I say, it was really, really wanted to come down and make the final. It was just a brilliant game. Like I said, the start was a bit tetchy. Independent were clearly playing the better football, and it was just 1 or 2 chances they put forward and they nicked 2 goals out of nowhere. They were 2-0 up. That goal before half time was so vital, as well as your goalkeeper making some cracking saves through the game, because he helped. The reason you were at that point at the end was because of some vital saves earlier on. So shout out to the goalkeeper, absolutely brilliant. It's the link between the clubs, and I love the fact that you come up yourself to support us, to Bruce, and we've all come down to support Independent. And it's what it's all about, the link up we've had between the clubs and ourselves. Quickly, I know I come on this stream last week and chatted a load of rubbish. I apologise for that.
It's okay. It's all right.
But I wanted to say it on the stream. But it felt like everything, with Saturday, it came full circle. It was brilliant. And the young lads like Josh as well. He's just turned 18 and he's travelling down with the lads to London to watch another team, and it was a brilliant day. And honestly, it was a great day out. It was just so nice to come down and meet you all. And yeah, like I said, I wish we could have stayed longer. We had to, obviously, we got back about 7 or 8 o'clock. Just wish we could have stayed a bit longer, come back with you for a drink and that. But hopefully there's more chances in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Yeah, I mean, I can kind of definitely say like the guys really appreciated you like coming down, and honestly, and again, like, it's exactly what Paul and Ray and probably everyone on the stream can probably kind of echoes that the support was immense, and literally I think that really showed everyone look like independent are here, and we can kind of fill out a ground, seats or no seats. We like do bring an army, and just scoring that third goal. I'm actually glad that there was a pitch invasion. I'm actually glad. It just bring. That's what Sunday League football is about. And again, as I kind of keep like saying before, Vets football is growing, and yesterday's game was a great advert. Absolute great.
And remember, Tabrice, we weren't playing to full capacity. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we weren't playing to full capacity. That's the thing that was hurting me. If the game was to finish there and then, there was so much more to give. So we, even though we got the win and we got over the line, and that's the most important thing, we wasn't playing to full capacity. I don't know what it was, but we wasn't. You know what I mean? They helped on the other hand, and I've got to say, I do like to go up against Ray is the nastier one out of us two, but I do like to go up against other managers and work out their tactics. And I have to say, that guy yesterday, if he's watching, I'll help you next season because wow. If he hasn't handed in if he hasn't written that note to say goodbye to that team, I think the players may revolt, because we're down to 10 men. We're down to 10 men, and you've got 9 minutes. And the ref, I'm gonna say, the ref was more on their side.
Definitely.
Thank you. See out the game. If you've got see out the game, keep ball. They just kept on pumping it, giving us back, pumping it, giving us back. It was me. If that was me, I wouldn't have slept last night. I wouldn't have slept. No way, because as I said to the guys, their one hand was on the cup. They had one hand on the cup. How do you lose that? Everything is up. Everything's for you. But all I can say is thank you, manager of Seagas. Thank you.
Let's quickly add to what Paul and Therese said, in terms of the Vets football growing and yesterday being a spectacle. I mean, not to dampen yesterday, but this is why finals like these should be played on a better pitch.
Yes.
And in a better setting.
Why did you say it? Why did you say it?
No, I've got to say it because look at the people who came around. It was some people I know for a fact didn't come because they had nowhere to sit. I know. I mean,
here's the issue.
Me alone.
Okay, well,
hang on. I need to get it up. Me alone, I brought 5 people around, and there was 2 people who could not come because they had nowhere to sit. And for a game of that magnitude, I mean, players have worked so hard to get to the final. Put it in a place where it's nice, it's big, it's spacious. Let the players, let the family have a good day out. That's what it's all about. You see what I'm saying? So hopefully it didn't destroy anything, because I mean, if you watch the game going uphill and downhill, it had an effect on the game. No doubt about it.
Yeah, but the issue is the cup final. A cup final isn't just a game; it's an event. And first things first, I'm making it clear that I obviously agree with Nana. I mean, look at the job that I have. So clearly, my actions support what Nana's saying. I'm just saying, even when things go wrong, you have to look at the positives. Now, the game as a spectacle was a good game, because what do you want? You want a team underperforming, then playing like Brazil the last 10 minutes. You want a lot of goals. You want mistakes. You want moments of actual professional level brilliance. I mean, Dwayne's touch and pass for the equalizer. I mean, that's as good as any player can possibly. Pro, elite, world class, it doesn't matter. That was an elite moment from him. It's just magical. The third goal from, I think the player's name is Nels, picking the ball out the sky, putting it to, I mean, that's as good as anybody. So I'm saying, when you're looking at the event, now we come away from the game now, look at the event. the kids are running around. There's a bouncy castle. The kids are playing football. The kids are running into same thing we were all doing when we were 5, 6, and 7 years old. If we had that at an enclosed ground, Dulwich Hamlet or wherever, that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. Yes, we got away with it with the weather and everything, but you have to understand if we did put it in a different ground, some other people, like the kids, more importantly, and the families, those grounds aren't really set up for families like that. It's sit down, shut up. You can't run anywhere. You can't play football on the side, or there's no side to play football on. You know, so I'm not saying I still agree with Nana. I just where Nigel's coming from, I can see some value in it. I wouldn't do it for my competitions, but I can see some value in it. Now, having said that, if it was 14 degrees and pouring down with rain, then what Nana was saying now would be we wouldn't be able to argue. Even I wouldn't be able to argue against that. It would have been a horrible day. If the weather wasn't as great as it was, it would have been a very uncomfortable day for the spectators and the families. But the way it turned out okay. You know, turned out okay.
Cool.
In terms of the game itself.
Well, you know, let me just kind of speak to Jacko and Josh before they go. And again, like the kind of last words for like you guys. I mean, again, if you know, if there's anything that you guys want to say to the viewers out there, the independent guys, you know, hey, like this is now your moment. And I'll start with Josh, actually.
I think just I don't actually know, to be honest. But all I'm going to say is that the game that we watched yesterday, I've never been a big fan of watching Sunday League football or Vets games, just because I mean, it's not. I don't know what it is. I'm not very keen about it, but yesterday I've really enjoyed watching it. There was never a dull moment, and you couldn't take your eyes off the game. And so, obviously, huge respect to the players to make it interesting as well, and just for the whole event management as well. It was absolutely class day, and I don't think I'll forget it.
No,
Wow! Thank you, Josh. Thank
you, Josh.
And Jacko.
So, congratulations, independent vets, 2-time champions, correct? 2 times.
Yeah, 3 times.
Yeah.
The next season, 3 times.
Maybe.
You want another final? We'll be down again. We'll come down again.
We'll hold you to that.
Good. We'll see you again soon, all of you. Thanks for having us on as well. Thanks for having us down on Saturday. It was a privilege to be there. It was such a great day,
problem.
Honestly. It will live long.
No problem. It was nice. It was nice meeting you guys in the flesh. Really nice.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm glad you got back. I'm glad you got back up safe as well.
Oh, last question before you go. How did you get on today?
Right. Let me explain it. So we went 3-0 down, and someone got a hat trick today, didn't they, Josh? And we won 4-3.
Wow.
Hey.
I wonder who.
There you go.
There you go.
Just a kid.
Great day.
Great. And you guys are in a semi-final as well, right?
Yeah. So next Sunday we've got the first leg of our semi-final against Braunston. It was drawn earlier, the cups. We thought we were playing like first place, second in the other group, but it was just drawn. So we're away at Braunston next week in the semi-finals, first leg. I hope anyone watching comes along and supports, brings their families and everything, come along and support us. And hopefully, after the second leg at home, we've got a cup final. Hope we'll see. We'll see. But we're just talking semi-finals for now. You know, we dream of a day like you guys. You know, having a big occasion, having our families there, playing for that trophy. To be fair, the trophy we're playing for, me and my brother held 9 years ago as winners. So it'd be nice to hold it again.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Wicked.
Honestly,
Is that Jamix? Jamix is traveling. Well, Jamix is rolling on with it.
Yeah. No, we literally we will kind of definitely kind of make sure that we kind of bring down a strong contingent of the kind of independent guys as well, 100%. And and again, Jacko and Josh, thank you for all of the pictures, and thank you for your support, and literally thank you for getting behind the team, and thank you for even running onto the pitch, and again giving us that energy as well. So
we couldn't help it.
That was our pleasure.
Honestly,
Goodbye.
thank you so much.
Thanks,
All right, guys.
See you later, man.
Take care.
Cheers.
Take care.
Okay, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah. Amazing guys. And again, wishing Caldecott all the success in their semi-final. So let me kind of go to Nana first. Nana, so you played the majority of the game yesterday. We're kind of love to get your brief take about how you felt from like the warm up to the end. And please, Nana, keep it under 5.
Five. I'll give it a lot less than that. I thought the warm up was shit. We're trying to ginger everybody up to fix up for the opposition. Sometimes it feels like these boys. Sometimes you never know. Sometimes they are very quiet in the warm up, and then they turn up. And they go ham on the opposition. So you can never tell. But yesterday was a bit dull, just like Paul said, and it showed when we started. I don't know if it was much sharpness or whatever it was, but we didn't start the way we usually do, like high press in their faces, stopping them from doing anything. Like when the press whistle goes 15 seconds, we get the ball back. That's the kind of team that we are. Oh, we didn't do that. We let them do what they wanted to do at times, and sometimes the team feels like we want to go behind so that before we can test ourselves. And everybody, especially the second half, everybody put in a shift. And if I'm rating myself yesterday, for example, I'll give a 6.
How much?
Oh my
How much?
God.
I'll give myself a 6.
Wow, that's
I don't think.
That's
I don't think. Wow! Look at that! Look at that! Yeah. I thought in terms of I kept slicing the ball for some reason, and I was speaking to the manager after the game because I had been playing through injury. I was still playing through injury yesterday, a groin injury, and every time I went to kick the ball, I felt a bit of a click in the groin. But hey, I was on the pitch. I did what I had to do, and we won the game. So, everybody, I'm so proud of everybody who wore the shirt yesterday and did their bit, whether it was 2 minutes or 90 minutes. I'm so proud of everyone. And Tobias, I know I give you a lot of stick, but when you came on the pitch, you did your job. You did what you had to do. You played it simple. You won the headers. And it was good to see. Hopefully you can play a lot more games.
Oh my God!
One in 10.
That's coming. But
It's true. It's true. If you do this consistently, we're a better team. We're a better team. You don't give anybody the opportunity to attack you the way that they do. Because at the moment you look like a club clown. It's true.
Okay, all right. So
I'll take nothing away from your performance yesterday. It was really good.
Oh God.
Well done to Nels. Well done to Nels.
He's seen the comment. He's seen the comment.
Also, I wanted to say give a big shout out to the management team, because you stuck out for the egos of these men. And I know it can be hell at times when you're giving instructions and it's not listened to, but you stuck with the boys. You've blood, sweat, and tears. You've got us where we need to get to, and at the end of the day, you have a trophy and some medals to go home with. So thank you, and we hope to see you guys again next season.
That's great stuff. And I think Nels has literally brought this up, and literally I've been looking at this. Jamal, we need your opinion about it.
Hey, let's do this. Yeah, let's do this.
All right, okay.
Let's do this.
Can I just ask him for one other thing before he gives his opinion on the game? Can I also have your opinion? Did you pick out that T-shirt you were wearing, or did you find it in the dark? Because the T-shirt was about 4 sizes too small. I just want to know: did you pick that out, or did you just
tight fit? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not used to having a dryer. It's a tight fit. My clothes tight fit. Now listen. When Ray's wrong, he's wrong. When he's right, he's right. He's right about this one, boys. He's not joking. It was a tight fit on a hot day, bad combination. Anyways, get to the game. We got 3 takeaways. 3 takeaways. First takeaway, won't surprise anyone. Football's a funny game. I don't understand how I can watch a team within 3 weeks of each other. Same team within 3 weeks. They play much better than yesterday. Lose by 2 goals. Play pretty bad. It's a pretty bad performance. And win by 2 goals. Yeah, cool. You can argue about the difference in opposition. I'm not interested in that. I'm talking about the performance because I don't care if you got beat yesterday if you played well. I don't think any of you are the kind of people that if you got really played off the park, but everyone did their role and just got beat by a better team, people can accept that, But that was a bad performance with 2 pockets of 10 minutes where the team played probably to their level, and that level is pretty high. First 10 minutes of the second half, buzzy, the ball was moving, created 3 chances where you probably should have scored, probably put the game to bed from then, and we all could have enjoyed the afternoon much better because me trying to film surrounded by people who just have either independent or plenty of players on the pitch have their hearts. People wanted you guys to win. A lot of people who I didn't know you knew, a lot of people who I didn't know and got to know, they didn't come to watch a cup final. They come to see you win. And we were all nervous because it was getting to that point where not only are you going to lose, you're going to deservedly lose. And we have to go and clap Seagas off the pitch saying, hey, you know what? Hey, the best team won today. So that was a bad performance. But the first 10 minutes and then that last 10 minutes where everyone on the sideline, it felt like we all felt stupid. Like, why did we doubt them again? Well, wait a second. We knew it was coming, and that's kind of how it felt. And certain men were back there. Oh yeah, the big talk from Independent. He was talking big. Where that man now? Hard faces, a lot of hard faces on there. And when you guys are scoring, I'm seeing these boys jumping up and down. The little boys, yeah, I knew they had it in them. It was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day, and what a dramatic win that is. Where someone could look at the scoreline and it would have looked somewhat comfortable, and it was everything but. Second takeaway. I'm sorry, we're being honest here. I don't know the ref. I don't owe him anything. He's a Kent FA ref, so I really don't care. Based on that referee's ability, that was a pretty good performance. Sinbin was quite dubious. There were some decisions that were quite dubious. The penalty decision was correct because the school where we come from, it's all about the key match decisions. What were the key match decisions? And no one could ever argue with that penalty. And he gave that from the halfway line. That's how obvious the penalty was. And he had a clear effort to keep the game flowing. He didn't, but that wasn't all his fault. Based on that referee's ability, that is a good performance. You didn't get an experienced sort of guy, middle-aged, but quite fit. You didn't get a young promotion, up-and-coming future EFL ref who could buzz around the pitch. You got a ref who is physically limited, quite experienced, probably understands the game well, but knows if the game goes above him, he won't be able to go with it. And I think he did well. He really did. I really have to say that. Last takeaway. Sorry, Nana, this is not banter. This was not banter. I'm being honest now because I played with you at five-a-side. Five-a-side might be your game, but I'm done now. Tabrice is a better footballer than you. You kicked injury, cool. I'm glad you said you had an injury because that explains some of it. But you kicked 2 goal kicks straight out of play. I'm sorry. That is unacceptable. That was a poor performance. Ray, Paul, I don't know why a defender is taking goal kick. I assume your goalkeeper can't take goal kicks or maybe there's a quad injury or something like that. Cool. I hear that. I don't know where I'm coming like everyone else. I've come to see you win. I haven't come to watch a cup on. I've come to see you win. Nana is injured or he's struggling with confidence. I don't care what. I was disappointed that nobody said, Raw, Nana's not here today. Can someone else take a goal kick, please? Because obviously he took several. Nana obviously is a decent player. So majority were still good, but there were some that were some bad goal kicks. And no one said, Raw, Nana, let me come take a goal kick for you. But either way,
Jamal,
final takeaway is the free football to Nana. Man don't want to hear it. Done.
Jamal.
I'm done. Nana, I've seen 2 games. I'm done.
Jamal, I've got to say, with the goal kicks, you know Nana just as well as we do. Nana is way too stubborn to go up to him and say, Nana, come off the goal kicks. That's just going to be smoke. It's just going to be smoke.
I'm not accepting that.
No, you have to. Because I know some of the players would like to take it off him, but he ain't going to move. He ain't going to move. Logic.
I would have taken that from him.
Wow. Mad.
That would be pure.
Nobody wants a goal kick. Nobody wants it.
No one wanted it.
Look at him.
No one wanted it.
Okay. No.
And
You
you're
know,
going to move aside.
Actually, you know what? You know,
Okay,
Nana,
so
you know,
now-
hold on, Nana. You know,
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
no, hold on, wait.
Tried to
You-
coach
wait,
it.
wait, hold on.
Hang on. No.
Wait, Nana, wait, Nana,
Go on.
hold on, wait. To be fair to Nana, like Nana, and probably myself sometimes, you know, if like for whatever reason Mel is struggling, we kind of normally take like the goal kick. So again, you know, fair play to Nana, especially shooting uphill. Like no, like matter what we think, you know, shooting like kicking the ball uphill from a goal kick consistently, it does take.
And you know the other thing with him, Nana,
Flame.
ever since he's got them new boots that he's got, let me tell you something, he's been damaging a few footballs because he can slice. The way he kicks that ball in the boots, it's like he wants to cut tomatoes. It's just life stopped using the new match balls because it's kind of damage them.
Am I allowed to be disappointed in Nels or Dwayne or Jamex or anyone and saying, "Well, no, let me take a couple because maybe you put me to rest." I'm just surprised that people saw him struggling a bit and no one decided to step in and say, "Right, let me take off some of the pressure." Because taking goal kicks, you can
ask the goalkeeper how many times I asked, "Do you want this?" And he said no.
No, because
even those free kicks, not the goal kicks alone, even those free kicks, yeah. Did you see everybody stepping away from the ball? You saw that?
No.
Let me have this. I'm stepping away. So what Ray is talking about, somebody going is going to be small. That's nonsense. If you want it, you done it.
I believe Ray as well for a league game, but for a cup final, I expect you to be logical enough to say, "Hold up, it's about the team here. Could someone give it a go?" Now, your attacking free kicks, after watching over the footage, your attacking free kicks were okay. I don't know why the goal kicks were you focusing too much on power, not getting underneath the balls. Then when you were getting underneath it, you forgot about direction. Like you almost hit my camera, and I was like, "Forget the camera." I was just like, "You are a technically sound player. Why are you kicking the ball?" Nobody ever means to kick the ball like when they're losing. And I'm like, what is that?
No, yesterday, only my God and I know how I was struggling with that injury, but I was not gonna give up that day. I was gonna fall down dead before I stopped. That's just me.
Paul, that's not fair. Paul, that's not fair.
We won.
That's
you know what, Ray? I suppose the takeaway from the two games is because Nino had some exceptional moments against All Stars. If not, that scoreline would have been embarrassing. And same thing last night. I don't think the performance was bad enough to call it embarrassing because there was still a lot of effort out there, and you know what I'm saying, people were still putting in the shift and covering ground, and there were tackles. It's just.
Well, this is what I was gonna say.
I'm just saying those exceptional. I'm just worried about. Is the team relying on Dwayne picking a ball 60 yards out the air and flicking it on professional class? Are we relying on Nels to pick the ball out of the air and bend the top corner? Are you relying on those exceptional moments? And when they don't happen, you lose. Because those exceptional moments don't happen. If that keeper doesn't fumble the ball, this whole show is completely different.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Actually,
hold on, Ray. I want Coach Barry just to kind of have like his couple of minutes regarding like the whole overview, and then Ray, you can literally answer Jamal's question or like comment. Coach, what did you think about the game?
First, I just had a text from Gaffer from MoonTV.com. He says, "Hello, well done everyone. Raymond and Paul, a special shout goes out to you from Moon TV. They was at the game yesterday and they were very impressed." Yeah. Well, I thought the game, I think it'd been a bit harsh because I played in finals. We've all played in finals, and the pitch was small, and the pitch was to their advantage. I thought Independent done very well coping with a team that plays that style of football. They play percentage football, knocking balls constantly long into the box, and the defense had to deal with that the whole game. So they've done well. Some great saves from Mel to see the game. Well, you could say one of the game. The only thing I saw Nelson playing up top. I didn't know why he was up top, but I thought his job was to trap the number 6 who was dominating the game. But it weren't doing that very well first half. Even I was getting a bit angry. I found Nathan done well in the centre mid, and I didn't understand why you took him out the centre mid, which left it open, which gave them space to run. Sometimes I found from the back to your front, you had a too big a vacuum in the middle. But a lot of this was addressed second half. A lot of this was addressed second half. I just think, like Paul said, when you've got a dominating centre half, you've got to just play around them and see how good he is at actually defending. With balls on the ground, balls coming down the side.
And he wasn't. I mean, there wasn't a camera and I talk. And as Ray says, usually Ray takes, because Ray's the manager, usually Ray takes the talk. But there was so much things going through because I know we wasn't at full capacity. I knew it. And what we had told them, if they had gone to, you know, and followed it to the line, it would have been a completely different game. It wouldn't have been as hard as they made it out to be.
Do you think the players came there with the wrong attitude, thinking we've won this? Do you think the attitude was not that?
To be honest, Barry, a lot of them came to watch them in the semis, and that might have been a mistake. You can't stop people from going to watch, but that might have been a mistake because it's either me or Ray goes to watch a game. I don't like people around me when I'm going to watch a game on opposition. I just like to be by myself, and it was like a jolly, and that could have, because obviously they talk to each other, and you know they weren't very good in the semi-finals, and that probably they probably thought, well, if they play like that, we've got it, because we had two very hard, a quarterfinal and a semi-final, two very hard games against two very good quality sides. So in their mind, if we play 50% like we played against VCD, we win the game easy. And I think that's what they bought on Saturday. If I could turn back clock, none of them would have gone to the semi-final to watch them. None of them would have gone.
I'm not knocking Nelson, because he did help win us the game with the two moments of absolute magic quality. I got there and I just went for a fantastic header, and then the ball he brought down and put in the top corner. Outstanding. Tabriz came on. This is hard to say, Tabriz, but you did have a presence once you came on the pitch.
Yeah.
Showed that.
And then
I didn't realize he was so big. I didn't realize Tabriz was so big.
I mean, Barry, all they do was just give you the ball back. So of course, if you've got someone like Tabriz, where, as we always say, me and Ray, that's his game.
Yeah.
He will win 9 times out of 10 headers and 50-50 balls. I don't want to go up against him. I've got, most of them are probably scaffolders. They've got to work on Monday. You know, they don't want to go 50-50 with Tabriz. So he made a big difference. It was a good call by Ray. Good call by him. Bring him. Yeah. We had to go for it. You have to go for it.
Sorry.
The keeper, Mel, Nana, all those at the back, everyone who played at the back, excellent. Because that is tough to be played for 90 plus minutes. That's tough.
Yeah.
I have to say, Ray, I was glad I was there because Ray didn't lost it. Ray lost his cool with the other. The other manager was winding Ray up and he nearly lost it. And I had to put him back.
I did say it. I mean, Barry, he's every Saturday, mate, on the line. He's like, I'm having to calm him down. He's swearing
you gotta back me up here.
He's swearing at opponents.
Yeah.
I have a question to ask.
Sorry, Jamal. I want Ray to actually be given the right to reply in terms of what, like you said, in terms of do we rely on Nino or do we rely on Townsend to literally change certain moments of the game? And I know Ray was chomping at the bit to actually answer. So like Ray.
Yeah, I think I can see why Jamal said that. And to be fair, the team has gone through stages. It's gone through a lot of stages to get to where we've got to so far. And we're not by any means where we want to be, but we've been building. And as like Barry, the ethos of the club is we develop. And even though we're vets, I believe we can still get better and better and better, which we have done. And the thing is, it's sometimes hard not to look to those players to do something, because that's what they're there for ultimately. But I think to say we're waiting for them is a disservice to the other players. Because as far as I'm concerned, I always say to them, at the end of the day, when you have players like Nino, as you've mentioned him, and Nels, and Dwayne, and Nath, the captain, they can't do what they do without the team being there to support them. It's all wonderful having them, but they need that support from their teammates. So when you say we rely on that magic, no, we get them into a position where they can do that. And that's the difference. It's not just because we have other players that step up. And to be fair to the team, we were walking wounded. Like there was some on ice baths on the lead up to it, and some of them were just lucky to be on the pitch. As we knew, Nino was carrying an injury, and we knew we would be. The game plan for me and him was he is going to try and manage himself through it, and then go hell for leather in the last 20 minutes because
What do I always say to you? You're as strong as the so-called weakest man.
Exactly.
Every player counts, and yesterday's final showed.
Well, this is it.
Every player counts.
Even
management, everyone counts.
And that was the difference. That was the difference because I know some players get frustrated when they get taken off, but I look at it as a relay. The starters get you going, they get you to a point, and the guys come on and they take it home. They bring it home. So the one thing with our team, the subs very rarely weaken the team. And especially this season, they keep it stronger or raise it. And people show their face when they need to. I mean, Damien, who got the equalizer, he got 2 assists in the game. And he's someone who I always ask for more than what he gives sometimes because I believe there's more in him. And he showed his face yesterday. Yeah, he's still not doing everything I want, but he comes up there and he does his bit. The other thing, as I see his name on the screen, we had some players who had some gut checks yesterday because you got Dash on the floor, hurt his knee, and his line is somebody come on and put it back in for me. And he came off, you think that's him done. You think he's finished now, you don't worry about it. And he comes up beside me and he's stamping his foot saying, I'm good, I'm back on. And yes, he did get the sin bin, but since Dash has joined us, he's actually made, and I want to give a shout out to Drew because Drew was our normal striker, and he's made the loss of Drew bearable because he's come in and given us that same energy, that same effort, that same commitment up front for 90 minutes and will work his heart off until he can't go no more. And as much as I know the Nana versus Tabriz debate is going on, I will give Nana this. When he says he will die on the pitch, okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I know he will go and give everything he's got until he can't give no more. So that's what you ask for at this age. You ask for a man to say, I'm prepared to run through a wall for you if I need to. So no, I think it's a bit harsh to answer the question directly, to say that we rely on it. I believe we put them in a position to do it. Because sometimes we say to Nathan, just cheat, stay up there. We say to Nels, you've got you go and express yourself, because he has 2 midfielders behind him who are doing that dirty work for him. Tabriz came on yesterday and took the mantle of, I'm going to go in there and do the dirty work today, the bit that people don't like, the bit that sometimes people don't recognize, the scrapping for 50-50s, the bits that people don't necessarily see. There was one moment in the game where Nana had the striker in front of him, plus a man on the other side. Tabriz makes a sliding tackle from behind to poke it to Nana. If he doesn't make it, that possibly puts us 3-0 down, 3-1 down. So it's those little moments that people do the dirty work that they don't always get the credit for. And then we always look at the highlights of Nels putting it in the top corner, the way and bringing it down. But it's those dirty works that bring us home. So no, I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of the team, proud of the day. And the management, I give them a round of applause, taking myself out of it, because there's a lot of times I do rely on them to.
It's a football psychology question for Ray and Paul. And, well, I don't need to ask you guys to keep it real. You do that anyway. But you had to have been thinking, wait a second, this is over here. You had to have been thinking that. Everybody else was thinking at the side.
Not over.
But it wasn't. It was getting pretty dark out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was getting dark because all of us on the side. I'm with a bag of men who only want to see you win, and boy, it just wasn't looking good.
Listen, Nels, I'm sorry, Ray. Can I say a
go on,
quick one? Listen, we speak nearly every day, me and Ray, and we start from early in the week when we're going to play a game, and selection and how you're going to play. If I've seen them play, I give advice, and Ray has his worth in, and we we sort out a plan, and we from very early we knew how we wanted to play against this team, and yes, they switched to 4 at the back, but it was still the same essence. The thing that, for me, I thought we was getting to that moment that it's gone, and we've only got ourselves to blame. Only got ourselves to blame. So me personally, because I was watching it, I wasn't even getting involved in banter, which I usually do, because I just couldn't understand what I was seeing. Because we had told them exactly how this team was going to play, and it was like they were nervous. As I said, it's like this is nothing that we haven't seen before. And I'm going to be, and people might say, "Oh, you're out of order," from a not very good side. It's nothing that they miss out their midfield and they just hope get it in their box. And them sort of teams are easy to play against because they're giving you the ball back every 5 seconds. They're giving you the ball back. They're not even trying to build up a play. They just bang and let's hope, and then we try and So I just couldn't understand why we were playing so bad. And I said, look at all the people. Look at the lovely day, last game of the season, and this is how it's going to end. This is how it's going to end. That's what was killing me. That's what was killing me.
What was going through my head was I'm just trying to figure out, like, wait a second. I've seen this team play better than this in a loss. What is going on? I'm thinking, you start thinking about factors. Is it the heat? Is it the warm up? Is it maybe the biggest factor was you didn't have a game last week? Because people talk about quality a lot, but form is very important. And if I had a big game, it doesn't matter what it was, cup final or trial match, I definitely wouldn't want to go 13 days without a game before that big game. But, sometimes you don't lose, you just run out of time. And that's what I was just thinking. I'm like, wait a second, I know there's enough quality in this team to most teams, after that blunder from the keeper, because it only proves how good of a team you are. After that blunder of the keeper, everybody on the sideline, okay, cool. I come to go talk before extra time. Everyone's getting ready for extra time, thinking, oh, maybe penalties. And then not only did you have because you guys are so rude, not only do you decide to go and score a winner, like, no, let's get an extra buffer goal as well. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Not a lot of teams, if anyone ever thought you were a bad team, that last 10 minutes really proved that you weren't. Because, I mean, why Nels isn't trying to hit that first time? Why he's doing the professional thing of taking a touch and then finishing it? Why is Dwayne not just jamming at the back, protecting the lead? Why is he running 70 yards to get a tap in? That's the levels that makes a team unbeatable. To play that badly and win, I mean, that was special. Really was.
Yeah.
And I just want to say one last thing. Sorry, Ray. We've been with these guys for a long time, and they are very, very good players, exceptional players for vets. And I know we laugh and joke, and I know me and Ray are 2 different characters. He's the much calmer one. I'm the one that I'll just say my piece, and you don't like it, it's just tough. I just tell you what I see. But I have to thank the guys, and I hope they're watching. I have to thank every single one of the players in the squad, because every week you come and you put your trust in me and Ray, in what we have laid out, our plan for every individual game. And I know a lot of you are much better players than I could ever dream of. But you put your trust in us, and I have to thank you so much, because yesterday you could have gone off and said, you know what, they don't know what they're talking about. Let's do what we want to do. But you stuck with it. You took the bollocking at halftime, and you went out and said, you know what, I'm going to shut Paul up. You know what I mean? Well, Mr. Klopp, I'm going to shut him up, and I'm going to prove to him. We're going to prove to him. And the squad, not me, not Ray, you guys dug yourselves out of a hole yesterday. And for that, I have the most respect for you. Really. Everybody on the line had a great day. You can see the the comments, the running on the pitch. That's a great shot. That's a great shot. The running on the pitch. You know, I can't wait for the video to come out to see that again.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I just want to thank the whole squad. Really, me from the bottom of my heart. I just want to thank you. Really.
Yeah, and again, I want to just thank Jamal for literally filming and literally getting out the highlights within 24 hours. Like, it was absolutely amazing. Jamal,
He had to get out of that t-shirt, so he had nothing else to do. He had to get the peas.
Big up Nelson, Dwayne from stopping Quicksand from getting fired. So big up Nelson. Obviously, they didn't score them goals. Quicksand was gone, fam. I don't have to go like what the individual. I don't even know what club you go to. Boy, anyways.
Coach?
I'd just like to thank Dom for the hat. And the merchandising is another level, guys. I've got a beautiful t-shirt here. Was CEO.
Wow.
So the merchandise, everything was brilliant. All the parents and the young boys I brought over, they're just in awe of the men. So it was a great experience. I had some parents ring me yesterday saying, "What a great experience! What have you guys done to the children? So good it was happening out there on the street. What you guys showed."
Yeah, you know what? I was happy that Paul really insisted that the youths come out to with the trophy presentation. And I didn't want to come. I couldn't see the youths because they were blocked by some players. But I could look to the camera and I see Paul like saying, "No, come."
Yeah. Also, big up Don, respect. I heard it's his last game was Saturday. Don B last game?
Yeah, for the vets. Yeah.
Big up for the vets. So we got to big him up and thank him for the service he's given and all he puts in because he does so much work. He's a 100% guy. Big up Don.
Well, that's what I was gonna try and squeeze that in. Yeah, no. Because Don, and I've said this to him, I've said it in front of people and he won't mind. At the end of the day, when Don joined us, he had a bit of a reputation that he could be a bit of hard work at times. And I can safely say since Don has been here, there's been a few rocky moments, but he's always put his heart and soul into everything we've done. And when you start a team, because when we started at the beginning, he was there from day one, and you need people around you that believe in what you're doing and are prepared to go out to bat and back up what you're doing. So I've got to give Don that, and he'll be starting an open age team for next season under independent. So now he'll know what it feels like to be on our side when he's looming over you and giving smoke because he's not on. Yeah, he's gonna get that. But I just want to say, I know me and Paul and everyone else will be there to help him if he needs any guidance or support. It's all there because at the end of the day, it's time to give back. So now, Don, thank you for all you've done and good luck because you need to bring some silverware, my friend.
And before we end, I know everyone's spoken about the game. I've not really said a lot because literally, I mean, there's been just emotions going over. But like for me personally, the game was one thing, but just seeing my family and seeing my dad there, and I think people that kind of know like the ins and out, you know, we kind of almost lost my dad at the beginning of the year, and just seeing him there and just seeing him enjoying and seeing him film and saying how he's proud of the team and he's proud of me, like there's
nothing better than that, mate.
There's nothing better. Honestly, there's literally, I'm saying like I'm feeling overwhelmed just thinking about it, and it's kind of funny because hey, like we all banter and like I say, like the best defender, but like it's what, and again, this is funny. This is it's crazy. So when I first moved to London when I was 17, I was playing for Norton, and I always say my defensive mentor was a young man called Peter Ford. I used to travel to Fortineve Pond, and he would like pick me and Carl Lacey up, and we'd talk about football. And Peter Ford taught me everything about defending and just positioning, because I was originally a left winger. I'm not going to go into that, but hey, And we were talking, and then Coach Barry comes, and I'm literally talking about Peter Ford, and Peter Ford's there looking at me, and they're both looking at each other. And then I'm talking, and then Peter Ford says, Tabrice, just be quiet. And then Coach says, do you know what, Tabrice? Do you know Peter Ford? I coach Peter. I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's just a full circle. That's just a full circle. So everything that Peter Ford got from Barry, like Peter Ford gave to me. It's, you just can't make things like that up.
And let me add to that. Obviously, I enjoyed the day hugely, but the man of the match for me was Peter Ford, because he stood right behind me the whole time. listening to his commentary. Seriously, I'm like, I just met the man. And he's one of those kind of guys where I just met the man, and I felt like I've known him for 15 years. It's like his commentary, because he was one of, I won't say negative, but he's one of the harshest critics throughout the match.
Definitely.
And then after the equalizer, and especially after Nelson's goal, the man is just jumping up and down like a little 6-year-old, because he didn't come there to watch the game. He come there to see you win, and he wasn't satisfied until that third goal went in. But yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. So,
and Tabrice, can I say one last thing, sorry, before you round up? So, well, you kind of touched on it a bit when you were talking about your dad. This COVID season it's just been a mess. And you look at throughout the journeys of the teams, and you've had people who have lost people from within the club. You've had people who have had children in the club, and you had babies there. There's Darren, whose son was born on Friday, and you just look at all of those things that you roll in together, and you watch. That was all part of the emotions of the day, because myself, we won the semi-final on my dad's birthday, and seeing players who said, yeah, my dad was unwell, but he's coming today, he's going to be there, and going around and meeting players' dads, you're thinking, this is a vets team, we're going and shaking dad's hands, and that to me is what, strip away all the rest of it, those are the bits that I take away and sit down and say, you know what, that's why we do it, because it's a family, and that family story intertwined. So we see the cup, we lift the cup, but it's the family stories that are intertwined with it. And yeah, as Paul said earlier, I just thank everyone for the efforts that they make week in, week out. And that's me.
Also, can I just say one last thing? Talking about dads, how does Tabrice's dad film better than him?
That's a wonderful question, Nana. That's a wicked question. Because
the man actually got the action for the goals. And missed 4 or 6 out of 9 goals. I don't understand that.
What do you mean 4 out of 6? He missed every goal in that one. He missed every one of them.
My bad snap. Yeah.
It was everyone. No, that's why I said you can't knock that.
How is that possible?
Well,
so you want to comment on that?
So Reece doesn't like to film. He likes to chat to people, innit? When he chats to people, the goals them are flying in, fam.
You know what? To be fair,
he goes, I missed it. I think I missed that, guys. This time he don't know he missed it. He don't know he missed it. He's like, you know what?
It's literally like my dad's like telling me about like the latest apps. He's kind of is literally talking to me about the phone, like that you can do like fingerprinting, and literally he's like showing me how to use it. I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of all like down to you. Hey, my dad's got a new lease of life. He's kind of like something special. But hey, again, like he like filmed about 20 minutes of the game, and just kind of watching it back. And again, we've like got a family group, and like he just he kind of put everything there, and he said, well done to Independent. It's kind of good just to kind of see everyone's family, people hugging each other, people embracing. And again, as I kind of said before, just seeing the pitch invasion at 3-2, I was like, like that, that kind of gave me that kind of extra 5-6% to literally carry on going and to kind of carry on pushing and see, what, we are building something here.
Yeah, I'm gonna because Instagram shrunk the picture a little bit. So I'm gonna
or the wives, the girlfriends, this is why we do what we do.
Well, 100%. 100%.
This is why we do what we do. I know that sometimes some wives like Tobias don't let them come football. So please, if you're watching this, please allow him. Just give him some time to come. Joyce, please. Thank you.
Wow, the man's all calling her by name. Okay.
I also enjoyed at the end of the game talking to football connoisseurs. Barry, talked to Frank, talked to Jamal. I talked to I think it's Gary from Lambeth All Stars.
Gary.
I had a great conversation with him. You know, I love talking to people who've got good knowledge of football. You can bounce. They were asking me, I was asking them. I love that. It was a great end of season, meeting these people that you see. I've got a lot of respect for Barry. I mean, a lot of respect for him. Jamal, I know, is very knowledgeable. I asked him, and I know he comes back with just the bait, just with the honest. He's not going to sugarcoat things. I love that. It was nice. It was just nice seeing everybody on a lovely day, especially when you've won, having a good drink. It was a good day. It would live with me for a very long time, I'd say. And I've won a lot of things in grassroots football. You know, I mean, obviously I'm Black Klopp. I win a lot of things, but what? That's the truth.
No, sorry, Barry. 1 minute, Barry. Sorry, but to ask this comment. No, to ask this comment quickly, Barry. Dwayne, it's not a ship. It's a submarine. She's captain of the submarine. That's what she is. The hunt for Red October. That's what it's coming out when we're looking for Tabriz. It's the hunt for Red October. Sorry, bro. Go on.
So we're going to ask you, Nana and Klopp, where we had the barbecue after. Are we going to try and? Because that looks like a lovely venue.
I've got the guy's number, so we will definitely be ringing him. We'll definitely be ringing him Monday. He was playing golf on Saturday, so we'll definitely be ringing him on Monday and see if we can get a slot there. Because it was nice.
That's gonna complicate your affiliation application, by the way, because you're still technically a Surrey club. So if you move there, you'll definitely have to change over. That's a separate conversation.
Yeah, that's
we've got a few irons in the fire. We've got another iron in the fire as well, B. We've got another iron in the fire. So we're working on it. We're working on it. So if anybody wants to contact us, hit us up with a private pitch.
Any over 35-year-olds who are going to see the game and the video, who came down to watch us. If you fancy yourself as a baller, keep in touch. When preseason starts, come down and we'll test you out. And if you're good, you'll be here with us.
As well as anyone who fancies sponsoring the team, we are open to offers. We are listening.
The club.
Come and support the club.
The club.
The other question I've got is I've had about 7 to 8 players contact me, but I'm not sure if you're having 1 or 2 teams. That's what I need to know.
Well, the plan is B. We've been trying to not keep it quiet, but the plan is we would like to start a second team next year. We're looking for someone to run the team because, as you know, at the end of the day, we've worked hard to create the atmosphere that we've created within the team, and whatever we do with a second team or not, it has to go along the same lines as what we're doing here. At the end of the day, for us, the most important thing is the bond, the relationship, and everything stays the same. Whether you're in 1 team or 2 teams, everything has to stay across the board. So we're on the lookout. We are looking for someone to help come in and run a second team. So we say to people, come down. If you've had people come, then the more the merrier. They come, we try out, and hopefully if they don't come down as players, they may come down as managers and say, look, I love what you lot are doing. I think I fit in well. And if you fit what we're looking for, then come in. Because that was at the end of the day, what we've learned, or what I've learned from you and others, is the prototype. And it's all about that family feel, that atmosphere. So
honestly, thank you so much. I'm kind of conscious of the time. We're just reaching that 2-hour barrier. Honestly, thank you so much for everyone that's tuned in. Independence Day, I think it's going to be the Independence week or possibly month. Again, let's kind of celebrate all of the wins. Let's keep but no, again, what a wonderful weekend for the club. And I want to thank Jamal for filming and actually, again, getting get it out. Jamal, I still have to meet you to actually get the raw footage. The moment I've got the raw footage, I promise you I will literally deliver a 20-minute version. But again, myself and Jamal will actually talk about that. Nana, well done at the back. You had a great game. And hey, we are a team. And again, I just want to say that we also have a defensive WhatsApp group, and Nana is always vocal in there. He's always positive. He's always, G'ing up the players, exactly like Don does as well. So, again, big shout out to Nana. And Nana it actually takes, our kind of warm-ups as well, especially our stretches. So again, Nana, things like that do not go unseen. So again, thank you.
That's an indirect. Paul just said the warm-up was bad.
No.
You said Nana leaves the warm-up.
Let's confirm. Let's clarify. Let's clarify. Let's clarify. What? When Paul said the warm-up is bad, it wasn't that the actual essence of the warm-up was bad. It was the application and the energy of the warm-up.
It was the players.
No, yeah, it was the players. It wasn't the actual.
It wasn't Gary. It wasn't Gary. Gary always puts them through a very good warm-up. It was the players. It was the
You got to
players.
see with Jamal. You got to see with Jamal.
I know.
Still recovering from that T-shirt. It's like, when the divers go down on the speed and they come up and they got compression sickness.
But the warm-up was flat. So,
jeez, okay.
It's a T-shirt.
I know. Yeah, I know.
That T-shirt was cutting the circulation. It probably still is.
Yeah. No, his head was about the size of an astronaut's helmet when I went over.
I don't want anyone.
It's just like
anyone who kicks a goal kick directly out of play should not be speaking. That's all I'm saying.
Jamal, he thought your head was a beacon. That's why he shot over there. He was like,
the camera. Now that my camera was a beacon, that's why he tried to hit it from the goal kick.
It's funny.
On a real, thank you, Jamal. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We appreciate you coming there and filming and supporting. So,
yeah, 100%.
Respect.
What's Jamek saying? That I must line up a better picture. People keep that was not my competition.
Please,
I said a lot of people.
Jamal, stop biting. Stop
biting.
Mr.
FA. Mr. FA, you should have sorted it out, man.
Stop biting. Again, Black Clock Paul, that team talk was needed, and again, you didn't pull any punches. So again, thank you for your kind of consistent energy. Everything's black or white, it's not gray. So again, Black Clock, honestly, thank you so much. Ray, again, your guidance, your professionalism, you kind of not only play, and something that people have to realize is that Ray has sacrificed himself to manage the team. Ray can play, so literally he's kind of taken himself out of playing and kind of even being a substitute for the team. So again, people have to recognize that. So again, Ray, thank you for that sacrifice.
Thank you.
And Coach Barry, let me just add Coach Barry in. Coach, the CEO, again, thank you for your guidance. And you've kind of always said to me, and you've probably even said it to other players, just make sure that you're ready. If you're starting, be ready. If you're on the bench, you're ready. If you're coming on for the last 10 seconds, be ready. It's all about being professional. Take this game seriously. So Coach, honestly, thank you so much. And guys, we are finished. We are finished. Thank you for everyone that's tuning in. Stop my look at Nelson. Oh dear me. Oh gosh.
Anyway. One last thing to Breeze. Nels. So that make sure the bag, the Percy bag That's now the team mascot. So that comes every week, or you don't come to the game. You don't come to the game.
I'm glad you finished that sentence still.
Yeah, I know.
Guys, thank you so much. This has been Amateur Footballer Unhinged video podcast. We will see you guys real soon.